I'm the Commissar. We're watching Forged Alliance Forever, and you might not always see eye to eye with your opponents. But what does that matter if your eye has a gigantic laser beam in it and they can't see you at all? We're going to see some good examples of that today. My loyal viewers, we have another 6v6. Why do I keep bringing you 6v6s? Well, it's because all of the best games recently have been 6v6s. There we go. Sorry this week's cast is late. I've been at the annual Listener Crossword Setters dinner this weekend, and so I'm only recording this at 10 PM on Sunday. However, we got a full-size 20x20 map today, and we got 12 players on it. We got the North team up here, we got the South team down here, and each team has a couple of players up here and then a bigger group over here. Let's meet North team first. In the top corner for North team, we have Furior, who is 1919 rated, and Seraphim in dark green. Moving along, we have Calamity 63, 1157 rated, and also Seraphim in electric pink. In the air slot at the back for North team, this is Rehakles, who is 1075 rated and UEF. He is in bright red. In front of him we have Desert Wolf 216, 1490 rated, and Cybrin in yellow. Across on the flank, this is PBN32, Red Azide. He is 1333 rated and Eon in grass green. And last but not least, we've seen him the last 3 casts in a row. This is OriginalAngel, who is 1355 rated, also UEF, in white. Now for the South team. This is Telemazer, the game's highest rated player at 2164. He is UEF and orange. Below him, in a fetching mucus brown, we have Zardos, 905 rated and Eon, and opening first air. In their air slot at the back and also opening first air and walking off into the distance there, we can see Renoster, which is rhinoceros, I think, in an African language, maybe? Like Afrikaans? Dutchish sort of language? Rhinoceros. Renoster. 847 rated, and Cybrin, he's in lime green. Oh no, maybe that's not the air position. Maybe this is. This up here, coming towards us, this is Playing 33, who is 1636 rated in fecal brown. Already well on the way forward here, this is Knabberwasser, who is 1587 rated and burgundy. He's UEF, and he actually, one of these two actually opened first air, and so did our last player here. He's already on the way over here in baby pink. This is freddyfresh, who is 1217 rated and Cybrin. So that's the players. We can see the map has a few clusters of reclaim here, but good spattering of mixes, good spattering of reclaim everywhere, and we can immediately see that first air paying off for Zardos. Although, lovely pickup, these two Selines grabbed a couple of NGs, expanding very early for Telemazer, stopping his expansion. Look at this NG's going down as well. So, Telemazer slowed down massively by those early Selines from Furior. But this early expansion from Zardos, I'm loving that. Look, there's that, and Zardos has dropped the enemy's side and is setting up camp there with a factory and with a decent number of NGs. So that's going to be pretty good. Going for this bottom corner, not entirely fenced off, but reasonably protected by hills. We have a drop coming in from PB just ahead of the equivalent drop coming in from Freddy, so PB got to get set up just about first there. And it's drops all day today, and look at this from South Team. Not only has Zardos gone for his opponent's expansion here, The same is true for Knabber, who is dropping a big bunch of 6 NGs on his opponent's expansion right here. So I'm absolutely loving this aggressive drop play. This might just already be the play of the game right here. And oh, do you see what I see? The transport that brought the NGs out is still here, and Zardos is building a bunch of labs. I think we're going to see this transport turned into a ghetto gunship, and that would be marvelous. I am all here for a ghetto gunship. Definitely quicker on the factories from PB here, and definitely quicker on the expansion from Furior up here, thanks to those Selines. I can hear some shooting, but I can't see where it is. Oh, it's these tanks and these Selines, maybe? Oh no, it's not. Angel has come straight into the forward base for Knabber, but Knabber's got a gun turret and Angel hasn't had time to upgrade. So with this production here, I think that Angel is going to be forced back, and he's already in the yellow. And there's a bomber from Knabber, so this could actually be quite the problem for Angel. Angel's trying to set up a factory here, but this bomber is going to keep pressuring him. There are tanks and arty coming out, so Angel could actually be in danger this early into the game. Now, it looks like Knabber is unable to press the attack. Meanwhile, that ghetto gunship, it has actually loaded up and launched, and where's it going? Looks like this expansion from Angel, 2 mechs to the radar on a factory, is due to go down. Angel's still wandering around here, and he is though in the red, so thanks to these artillery pieces, so we will have to watch out for that. But this ghetto is what I'm all about at the moment. I love a little ghetto gunship, and that radar is going to be an important pickup. We do have inties coming in from PB, but Knabber is defending this ghetto with his inties to support Zardos. However, that transport has taken a lot of damage, and it's into the red, but it just drops the labs, and the labs can keep on doing work even if the transport dies, as it does. Angel is falling back thanks to the damage he took, and he didn't get to finish his factory as Knabber is massing tanks here. So Knabber's held that forward expansion, and meanwhile Angel might actually lose this factory to a bunch of labs dropped from the ghetto gunship. And that would also be a very nice pickup for Zardos, and he gets it. Lovely work. What have we got up here though? Well, we have Furior advancing very far forward, and Calamity in support with his cob as well, so this line looks like it's rather in favour of Northern Team. However, we have got the gun upgrade going down for Telemazer. And Telemazer does have more tanks here, I think, both here and here, than his opponents, but this comm from Furior could be very cheeky because there's nothing really to stop it. And these tanks can just be torn apart by a comm, even an unupgraded one. Zardos' expansion here might not be in trouble. He has got a point defense up and some tanks to defend, but there are 2 comms coming in, PBs and Wolves. However, neither of them have any upgrades. Meanwhile, in the corner, I think PB's got the advantage over Freddy. He's got more territory, he's got more production, and Freddy is losing. Well, he has now, because Freddy is losing production, though Freddy does have some production over here. Meanwhile, though, back to Wolf and Zardos, who are coming in for Wolf and PB coming in for Zardos expansion. PB is in the yellow and falling back, but that's given Wolf a chance to overcharge the PD. He's taken some damage from it, and Zardos is shooting him, but Wolf has brought in a decent number of Mantis to support his push, and that will in turn force Zardos back. And now, despite his damage, PB is coming back in. I think despite this being two lonely comms, there is another point defense back here for Zardos to fall back to. I think Wolf and PB are going to get a decent amount of work done. And this could make the difference. I see on the minimap we have a bunch of T1 bombers coming in from Wolf, and that could be enough, because Zardos Com is in the yellow and there isn't any anti-air supported. Even if there were, Rehakles has got these inties in the area. I think they might be going for a snipe on Zardos. In they come. And Zardos is taking a lot of damage from that, and of course he hasn't got any anti-air here to defend. He's got one intie, but Rehakles has more inties, and one intie isn't going to stop this many bombers. The next wave hits him, taking Zardos down into the red. I don't believe that Zardos is going to be very long for this world, as the bombers come back for a third pass. And boom! Zardos is our first ejection at 10 minutes. And the bombers have immediately been redirected. I think they're coming for Telemazer. Telemazer has gun, and so does Calamity though. And Calamity has a lot more tanks than Telemazer. So if he were to push in combination with those bombers, I think he'd be able to do some damage. And don't forget that Telemazer is the game's, and obviously therefore South Team's, highest rated player. But yeah, look at it. These bombers are coming for Telemazer, and Calamity is preparing a push with his tanks. If they coordinate, they can definitely get some work done. And here come the tanks chasing after Telemazer as the stream of bombers, and we can see on the minimap that it's just keeping on coming, is going to try and take out Telemazer's comm. However, Telemazer brings in inties, and that will support him. However, as he turns to dodge, that means that these tanks have a chance to catch up. So I think that Telemazer is definitely in a bit of trouble here, as Furior brings his inties to counter Telemazer's inties, therefore leaving the bombers free to wreak their damage on Telemazer. Telemazer brings in his own tanks to counter Calamities, but these are all tanks. And sure, there are pillars in there, which is nice. I don't think there's any T2 for Calamity in here yet, but they're not stopping those bombs from falling, and Calamity's just ignoring the army from Telemazer and going straight in for the kill. Telemazer into the red. Will this pond be deep enough to protect him? I actually don't know if it is. With just 1300 hit points left, and he does get under the water, but there's RT in here which can ground fire. Telemazer brings in his tanks, still the bombers are ground firing, and I think they might be in a position to do the damage. Yeah, look, Telemazer is taking damage from the splash damage of the bombers, and boom, Telemazer is our second ejection. The game's highest rated player is out just 12 minutes in. Meanwhile, we have a tactical missile on the back of playing, and it's going for PB's comm, taking him down to just 1800 hit points into the red. How quickly can PB reload? And how quickly can playing reload? So well, he's reloaded, but PB has realized the danger he's in, and he is on the move. And he's falling back. Renoster with gun and nano, and playing with gun T2 and tactical missile launcher. They're going to be quite the team. Meanwhile, we've had a raid from PB down in the corner, and Freddy's pushing it back though. Freddy has brought his comm in here, whereas we saw PB's in the middle just now being sniped by playing. So this comm is definitely going to give Freddy the advantage to take back some of the expansion that he earlier lost. However, this force from PB is just raiding across to try and hit Knabber's expansion right here. And what Knabber is going to be distracted from this. Although he does have a point defense going up here, so he has noticed what's going on. Anyway, Knabber is going to be distracted because Angel is pushing in with Gun, with Nano, and with a decent T2 army against Knabber's position, and Knabber has no upgrades at the moment, and he's still a minute away from T2. Sure, he has a shield, but he hasn't actually got a T2 point defense, so that's going to help. But he's defending with his pillars, and Angel's Gun Nano Com, I think, is going to smash through them. He's focusing with the long-range units, with the assault units, the Mongeese, on this point defense. You can see he's targeting it down. And though Angel is in the yellow, Knabber is forced to cancel his upgrade and retreat, and that point defense is going down. This position is going to fall for Knabber. Angel pushes in. And Knabber is forced to fall back. Over here, look at the advance from Calamity as the bombers from Desert Wolf come in to try and do some more damage. But there's a decent amount of flak in this mix, and the bombers are just torn apart. They do a few hit points of damage, but not enough to pay for themselves, I think. Let's have a quick overview here. South team have map control in the bottom corner now, and they do still have this expansion, and so the line is across here. I think overall South team have map control, but North team currently have the slightly better eco. And will that be able to turn into an advantage soon? We're going to have to find out. However, South team's map control may increase as Renoster, with only AA to support him, a stream of T1AA, but he's got Gun and Nano. He's coming in to evict PB from this expansion, which you'll remember is the one that Zardos originally dropped, and he's just walking around in circles there. What else have we got going on? Freddy is really locking down control of this area, this bottom corner. How is Knabber doing? He's now managed to get the gun upgrade, which he will need to stop Angel coming further forward. And I would love to see some T2 point defenses and static shields in here. Otherwise, I think Angel might be able to repeat the same trick, and he might be going for just that. We can see Angel advancing right here. But Knabber is coming forward with his shielded army, and I think he's going to be able to stop Angel from advancing too far at this point. However, this won't actually threaten Angel. He's got Gun Nano Com with 2 vets already, and if he kills any of these pillars, he's going to get a third. There we go, he's got a third. So this is nowhere near enough to threaten Angel's com, and because he's losing the tanks here, we might actually see Angel having a chance to push right back. Oh, what's this? This is tactical missile fire from where? From here. Put up next to the mech so it can be built more cheaply. And it is getting some damage done on Telemazer's lower base. Was that the HQ? I think it might have been. So good work there. And Playing, who inherited it, is bringing his comm in to defend. However, Playing has a strat out. How are we doing on air from Rehakles in response? Well, Rehakles hasn't even hit T3, so that early strat from Playing is really in a position to get work done. A lot of mexes up here that are T2 to hit. Like, all of these the strat could take out, and there would be nothing that North team could do about it. Meanwhile, that we saw Playing had the missile launcher on his back. What's he going for with it? Is he just going straight for the TMO? That will be a good choice, I think. And it looks like he is. Boom. Lovely hit right there from Playing. Meanwhile, Playing also has a few gunships out, and he's actually going for Furior's comm. He's going in with the strat and with the gunships for Furior's comm. And Furior, Telemazer's mirror, is North team's highest rated player, and he is down. And he is out. So I think Wolf's going to inherit that. But this strat is in the red, but it's done its work, and it can still go on. I think that the comm here was the wrong target. That might be what it's going for. The comm or the army. I don't like that target, though. It does take out a T2 mech. So there's 2 strats now. That could really do some work. And Rehakles still not on T3. Oh, the strats are going for Calamity's comm, and I don't super like that choice. I think he's lost a strat. He's lost both strats basically for free. However, now we've got to do some multiple streams. Here on the right, we have Freddy, who is advancing in quite a number of different places, both up here and around here. These couple of tanks might get some work done on PB, but only as PB's comm here with gun. Sure, he's injured, but against T1 tanks he'll be fine. We've also got these gunships from PB, T2 Spectre gunships, which are going to go to work on these tanks, and I think we're going to be able to see a defense from PB here. I want to know if he's going to lose this mech, though. It's a T2 Cat mech, which will be quite a loss, but no, this Mantis is not targeting the right thing, and the gunship takes it out. Meanwhile, this lot of gunships targets the AA first, and the rest of it is going to be toast. Meanwhile, on the other side, Calamity has retreated to the pond. Have we got anything more from playing to come for him? Yes, we've got a strat. Calamity has been damaged, but he is under the level of the pond, I think. Yes, he is, so he'd have to be a ground fire. But playing looks like he's going to try it. No, he doesn't drop the bomb yet, but this might. Tactical missile coming in. Nope, he's too deep in the water. That tactical missile came from player's comm. Calamity is going to survive. Earlier we saw Knabber being driven back by Angel, but now Knabber's got shield as well as gun, and he's got a line of Percys in support. So Angel in turn is forced to cancel. Angel was trying to get shield there, and Knabber is microing his Percys to make good use of their advanced range. Renoster finishes what I'm sure is going to be a monkey because it's an early Cyber X. We will check on that in just a minute. But right now we're much more interested in Knabber. And look at this, he is forcing Angel to fall back like nobody's business. In fact, he might actually be able to take out this entire expansion of Angels. And not only has he got these Percys, he's following it up with a decent T2 army, including mobile missile launchers for long-range attack and T3 anti-air and pillars for defense. And Angel is really on the retreat. He might even lose some of these mechs that he's got up here. So this is very good work from Knabber. Over here though, we've got Calamity advancing. Calamity's hiding in the pond up here. The pond which did not protect... Oh no, this was the pond which didn't protect Telemazer, but even so, another pond. Everybody go for dips in the little ponds. Either way, we have Calamity advancing down here towards the base that Playing has inherited from Telemazer, but meanwhile Playing is trying to sneak a little army around the side, and if you can take out this expansion with this army while Calamity is distracted elsewhere, that would be some pretty good work, if you ask me. And Playing's comm is here. This is a big enough army to threaten a comm, I think, even one with T2 and gun. Because this is a significant chunk of T2 army, and don't forget that the HQ here for that Telemazer built was destroyed, so there isn't going to be any tech coming out for Playing unless he's built another HQ somewhere else. He's got a shield to cover his comm, he's going to go for the engage anyway, and he's also got another strat helping out. That might make the difference. But still, this is a lot of production and a lot of eco to lose. And if Playing can't manage it though, the monkey from Renoster that we saw earlier, that we saw being notified about earlier, is going to make the difference. That monkey will easily be able to flatten this army and save Playing. I think. Playing is being a little courageous in this situation, especially when he's got a monkey to hide behind, and yet he walks into the front. But yeah, so look at all the eco that Playing has just lost here. That's quite a lot. Back over to Knabber. His comm has retreated, but he's still got a decent army here, and he's advancing with more. Angel, however, is massing Percy's of his own now. He's got T3 production, supported by shields. Oh, I was wondering what shot that, but it's missiles going around in a very, very curious loop. And that would imply that we've got a spearhead in here. Yes, we have. We've got a UEF spearhead multiple missile launcher popping its shots at Angel over here. And that was some Janus power by the looks of things, breaking through the shields. Yes, we've got more Janus coming in from Knabber. PB has got anti-air here to defend, but the Janus are getting their shots off, and that might be enough with the fire damage. I'm sorry for that epileptic zooming there, to kill this mech, and it is, though if I were Knabber, I think this T2 radar might be an even better pick. However, look at the number of Percys he has pushing in on Angel. I think Angel is going to be forced to fall back once again from this position. And Playing is our next XP. What race is he? He's 7, so I'm guessing that he's built a chicken. No, he's either built or being given a monkey, which we can see up there on the mini-map. Right there. Anyway, yeah, here is Angel's base going to 4. We do have T3 air from PB as well, who's brought a Restorer in to defend against Knabber, but Knabber has a lot of flak under shields here, and I think we still have a Cougar as well. Yes, there it is. So the UEF T3 anti-air. So one Resto is not going to be enough to defend Angel from this shenanigan as he loses yet another base. He is really being pushed back here, isn't he? Will Knabber choose to advance further? If I were Knabber, sweeping sideways into this base of Rehakles might be a good idea, rather than trying to pursue further into Angel's territory. Now that said, Rehakles doesn't actually have... he's got a little bit of T1 production and a T1 mechs here. That isn't a great deal, not at 24 minutes into the game. Oh, of course, Playing didn't build the monkey, Renoster gave it to him. And speaking of which... so here is that monkey that Renoster gave over to Playing, and it's all on its own, sure, but there is not really anything to defend from North Team here. So I think a lot is actually going to go down for the North Team. And I'm not sure also that North Team have really understood its presence, if that makes sense, because they're still trickling units in that are easily going to be smashed apart by the monkey. And as we follow it up here, well, it's walking around in circles a bit now. Does it think it's got to oh, it's just got a bit more eco to destroy. Lots of good work being done by this monkey. As Knabber's main army pauses, we have some Titans coming in here, backed up by a couple of Percys to take out this little base from Rehakles. And now that's going to clear it up, no problem, I think, and the main army is advancing again. Is it going to take out Angel's main base? Where's it going? Meanwhile, look at this. Delicious destruction just from a few Titans cleaning up this area for Rehakles and Angel. Back to the monkey for... I've forgotten his name already. Playing 33. Which is still just toddling around the north, smashing things up. Now, I do think that there is potential over here to get work done, like at least force Calamity to run away and or kill these Ophiums, if not actually kill him, because we might want to leave him alive to, because he hasn't got much of a base to work with. Oh, this is also a nice choice though, moving over here. So his production down a bit. We are back with Knabber's majestic advance. Angel is chasing it down with Percy's, but Angel actually turns them away because Percy's are slower as slow as the Percy's here. They'll never catch him up. And this expansion from Wolf might actually be under threat. There were a few restorers coming in, but there's a shielded T3 anti-air, in fact multiple T3 anti-airs in here for Knabber, and I think we'll be able to deal with those restorers before they do the damage. Indeed he is, and these Percys are about to get some work done. There are multiple T3 mexes fully capped here, which might just die. Coming back to the monkey for playing, as it hits a lot of T2 production for Calamity. And Wolf is doing his best, but these Othiums are just a tricker, and the monkey will blow them apart before the Othiums even get in range. Splat! Poor Othiums, nothing really to see there. And there is a chicken going up for Wolf, but this monkey has stopped. But if it pushed in, it would probably be able to deny that chicken, but we're not seeing that just yet. We are back with Knabber as he is making inroads on Wolf's expansion. These Percys are fewer in number than they were, but there's only a couple of T1 point defenses trying to stop them right here. And as if that weren't enough, look over here. We have a few cheeky Titans backing up this. That was, I think, the Omni. Yes, it was. And that's going to be quite a big loss for Wolf losing his Omni. And while that's going on, these Percys are still having fun. That's 4 T3 capped mexes taken out. Now we've got to check over on the other side, where PB is advancing with gun, extra range and heavy shield, but which is a very tough com indeed, but he's on his own, and this is a lot of army from Freddy. It's got bricks in, it's got anti-air to protect against the restorers we saw from PB. However, PB is going to go in there, balls out with his admittedly very tough com. He's not using the advanced range though, which I think is a mistake. And there's our first XP from North Team. It's presumably that chicken we saw being put up in the other corner. But we'll look at that in a minute, and PB is taking the fight. One of the bricks he's overcharged down, but he is now being forced to fall back as his shield is shedding away. Alright, we are back with Knabber and his Percys as broadswords come in from Rehakles trying to take them out. And they will take them out in the end, there's no anti-air left, but how much damage will they do before they're taken out? That's what I want to know. The Titans come sneaking in as well, trying to finish off everything in this expansion. And we're going to have an air fight. The Percys are dead there, but we're going to have an air fight being taken by playing. We do have ASFs from both Wolf and Rehakles. Who's going to win? And there is still a little bit of flack here, but I think that playing is going to win the air fight. Yes, he is, but he's going to now he's going to retreat as PB as well brings in AS. No, he's not going to retreat. He might just have taken on 3 players at once and won the air fight. Nice work. Back to PB, still retreating. He does bring in a restorer to help out, but so far that's only 1 restorer, and as you can see, he's only got 6,000 hit points left out of the 25,000 on his shield. He's going to start taking, quotes, real damage soon. He's getting a ping thrown down on him. And now he's standing still. This feels wrong. So we have the monkey that Renoster gave to playing, and it's coming in to the bases of Wolf and Calamity up here. But we have just had a chicken finished here from Wolf, and chicken definitely beats monkey. We are back to PB, whose shield is down and who is into the yellow as the tanks from Freddy surround him. He's still got that gun upgrade, but remember, all of his hit points, his extra hit points not from Vet, are coming from the shield. This might save him though. Angel bringing in a couple of Percys. And between them, I think the Percys are going to save the day for PB. That was a bit of a close shave though. And the Restorer from PB comes in to finish the job. The monkey advances further, and I think the right thing to do here is not to try and fight the chicken, but to target the HQ and the eco, because the chicken will defeat the monkey anyway, so may as well get damage done. And it looks like we have playing doing exactly that. That's Calamity's HQ, absolutely going to be down and out. Will he get a T3 mix as well? Yes, he will. But then the chicken is going to do the damage and the monkey dies. Still, good damage done taking out the HQ for Calamity. Let's just take a minute to see here that, look at this, map control for South Team. That's like 70% of the map, 75% maybe. And eco for South Team is 400 ahead, so huge lead for South Team at the moment. And Desert is sending a monkey forward, but does he know? No, he doesn't. He thinks he's just fighting those Percys from Knabber. But thanks to its stealth, he does not know about this monkey right here from Renoster, which is about to hit him right in the face. The Loyalists going to swarm the monkey. Really, Knabber needs these Percys to come in support. But now Wolf knows about that monkey because he can see it opening fire on him. And we have a nuke out. Who's it from? We can see on the minimap there, it is from Wolf. Where's it going? It is going all the way down to the base here, but there is an anti-nuke here which is not yet loaded. It's close, but it's not loaded. We will have to check back on that in a moment, but right now I'm interested in this, as Knabber is given the monkey by Renoster and he pushes in on Angel. Wolf brings his monkey back, but I think this monkey is down into the yellow, but I do not know if this is going to be enough. Here in Playing's base, we can see him desperately assisting the nuke defense, but I do not think it is going to be in time. Look at that, it's about 90% loaded, so close. He's building a washer here, and he's got an air grid and everything. And yet, down comes the nuke. Boom! And that is going to hurt a very great deal. He has lost his almost loaded nuke defense, he has lost his air grid, he has lost a lot of mexes. He has basically been smashed right in the face by that nuke. Meanwhile, what's been happening up with the monkey from Knabber versus the monkey from Wolf? Knabber's monkey backing away from Wolf's. And we've still got this air support from PB and this Percy support from Angel. And this monkey down into the yellow and falling as the restorers hit it. I don't know if it's going to survive. However, we do still have a significant number of Percys backing it up from Knabber. And then the Percys might just do the work all by themselves. And Knabber sees this and turns around his monkey. And he opens up on Wolf's monkey. And Wolf's monkey, not Knabber's, goes down. Amazing. Meanwhile, we saw Wolf building that chicken up in the top corner earlier, and now it's walking forward, and Playing doesn't have an enormous amount to stop it. He has got a strat though. However, there's T3 anti-air in support of that chicken, which didn't do much damage to that strat. However, one strat is going to take a very long time to work through a chicken. And where's it actually going? I'm not sure. It turns around for another pass, but that's a lot of ASF from Rehakles and from PB, and that strat only gets one more bomb off before it's gonna be carved apart. No questions asked there, I think. Indeed not, but the chicken stops, just going for a little saunter around. Speaking of a saunter around, there's a first time to everything, and at the dinner I was at, or just before it, I, for the first time in my life, walked along a beach in a three-piece suit. So, meanwhile though, over here, look at this. We have a very cheeky GC sneaking around the side for PB. However, it looks like Freddy is aware of it and he's consolidating his units into position. And he does manage to shoot down the restorer that was guarding the GC, so that is pretty nice. However, this does look very interesting. Do you see what I see on this comm? I see a cloak and a mazer from Renoster. Now, as we mentioned, that means rhinoceros, and a rhinoceros does have a horn, but in this case the horn is made of coherent photonic shenanigans. And as if that weren't enough, we have two comms, not one but two comms, who are going cloak and monkey laser for South Team. Now, you know me, I'm a sucker for cloak and monkey laser. I absolutely love where this is going. Meanwhile, Knabber, including that monkey that took so much damage earlier but is still alive, supported by his UEF shields and by Percy's, is making another push on the front line belonging to Angel and PB, and it is coming forward. Few Percy's to defend from Angel, but I don't think that's going to be enough to stop this monkey. But we have another nuke out from Wolf. Where's it going this time? Well, that direction looks like it's heading over here, and I think that this is going to be another hit, because I didn't see any SMD in that area. Meanwhile, a ping goes down over here, but it looks like Knabber doesn't want to take the advance just yet. And he's falling back. Anything to stop this nuke? Where was it headed? Here, I think? No, I think there is nothing to stop this nuke getting us a delicious explosive cinematic view right here. Blam. So that's two bases Plagues now had taken out by Wolf's nuke, and that's got to hurt, but I say that South Team still has a massive eco lead. It's got a 400 eco lead there. Still 50%. Meanwhile, though, we've got Playing's GC meeting Wolf's Chicken, and both their XPs are going to go down. First the GC to the Chicken, and then the Chicken to the Harvey surrounding it. Although I think it will lose quite a lot to the Iron Storm. And Playing still has an army to advance. However, we have Knabber on a transport here, and PB has got ASFs locked onto him. He's gonna land. Is he? Is he?
Commander under attack.
He's not going to land. Kaboom! Knabber is taken out by the ASFs from PB as he lands in his base. That was so close. Meanwhile, in comes PB's GC, and it is, I think it's going to deny all of this. Look at this, Fat Boy going to be denied. There's nothing to stop this right now. Meanwhile, as if that weren't enough for South Team to deal with, we have this flight of Restorers which has taken out two of these mexes already for Playing. However, there's a big bank of SAMs here, so they're not going to get any deeper still. This is going to be a lot of mexes to lose. And that is 3 mexes down now. Will it take the 4th, or will it be shot down before it takes the 4th? Back to PB's GC. The mexes are going down. The S&D would be a big pickup. There's Knabber exploding, as we just saw. That S&D will be a big pickup. It's not loaded, but given that we've already seen the nuke out, The shield is down, and of course, PB playing inherits it all. There's the SMD going down. Everything's just going to be denied. What answer does South Team have to this GC? Well, that could be an answer. In comes Renoster with his comm. Huh. I think I might actually do it, despite being on only 800 hit points left. Down it goes, but good damage is done, and that was only T2 radar, but still, nice pickup. PB's army here is retreating from where it just had that fight. I think it had a chance to advance there, but Playing, sorry, doesn't think so. Meanwhile, Playing has given all the stuff belonging to Knabber over to Freddy here, and Freddy is going to be able to use it, I hope. And Freddy's built an XP back here. What is it? Or maybe he's been given an XP, or well, I do not see it. Oh well, we'll worry about that in a little bit. Anyway, does Renoster have an answer to this GC here that's just been crushing the base we saw from Knabber earlier? Well, oh, that's the experiment. It was given to Freddy, of course, Furior and me, Knabber's old monkey. Renoster is just standing here, but don't forget he's got cloak. The GC can't see him, and more importantly, he's got Mazer. Now, normally the GC would easily beat the monkey in this situation, and indeed it does. But you know what that GC is not going to beat? It is not going to beat the cloaked Mazer comm belonging to Renoster. Boom, down it goes. Absolutely lovely. Nevertheless, this Farbase, which has been a thorn in North Team's side for a very long time, has gone down. And let's take a moment to realize that South Team, despite taking multiple nukes, still have a 300 eco lead. Look at the difference in total mass collected. They've collected like a whole extra Mavel's worth of mass than the North Team. Meanwhile, though, broadswords from Rehakles are taking out mechs in the mid, and Playing doesn't really have much of an air force to stop them, because remember, his aircraft got nuked. He tries to take the fight, but that was a big mistake, because Rehakles has a huge amount of ASF supporting his broadswords. Playing just loses his air basically for free, and Rehakles can carry on hitting these fully capped T3 mechs. This could absolutely remedy the difference in eco between the two teams, though and on he goes with those broadswords. Now, Calamity just lost the chicken up here to the Harbies. Sorry I missed that. I'm not going to bother rewinding because you can see what happened. The Harbies overran it. Calamity just lost the chicken basically to a Harbie force, and suddenly it looks like Wolf does not have enough Ophiums to support this advancing force. How are those broadswords doing? Well, they have absolutely gone to town on these mechs. This one is still up, but they really need to pop over here and shoot it. There we go. And they'll probably be able to pick up another. But they have essentially done their work here. They have killed an immense amount of eco belonging to Playing. This one's only T2, but it's still worth taking out. Up at the top, though, Playing's army has reached the base that Wolf has inherited from Furior early in the game, but just as we speak, he finishes a chicken, and that, combined with the Ophium and the static shield, is definitely going to be enough to defend. Those Harbies are going to be toast. If only for Playing they'd arrived just a tiny little bit earlier. And the army absolutely dies. Rehakles still messing around up here. We are seeing SAMs being dotted around by Playing now, which is the correct choice when you lose air. And so Rehakles Air Force retreats, but it's absolutely done the damage. I mean, I say that, but I'm trying to find one with a decent amount of vet on it. It's kind of been one. Maybe the one got shot down. Hey, yes, look, there's some ASFs from Freddy coming to take the fight. However, playing does have the remains of an army here, and there's nothing defending this eco that Wolf's inherited, with Calamity just hiding, albeit with Gun and Nano in the pond there, so this such an army relic from playing could do the damage. And where that monkey fight was, with the GC and the monkey and the stealth com, we've had a drop of engines to try and pick it up, and that drop is going to pay for itself, despite the fact that these bricks from Freddy will shred it in no time before it actually gets to the experimenters. It would have still paid for itself due to just surviving for a few seconds, and it was all T1 NGs. And playing is now actually expanding out across the top corner behind his army, really consolidating that lead in map control that South Team has, but Rehakles is sending his broadswords to put a stop to that as fast as he can. The anti-air is there, but doesn't hold up against this many broadswords, and the Harpies have nothing left to fight. That broadswords will absolutely clean them up, and again we see playing wisely, in this case retreating over here. Looks like we have another mass of offensive units, Percy's and a GC from Angel and PB respectively. Forward they come. However, we do still have, look at this GC being picked up by Renoster's com, who as well as... He doesn't have the gun upgrade to increase the range of his laser. He has T3 to increase the survivability even further. I would have probably preferred the gun upgrade. What's Freddy, our other Mazer com, got? Well, he's got gun, which is what I would have expected. But the cloak already puts up your survivability so much that getting the range upgrade on the Mazer, I think, is definitely worth it. Anyway, Rehakles comes forward, and he also manages... Renoster. Not Rehakles. Renoster comes forward, and he reclaims that fellow, and...
Strategic launch detected.
We just saw a wave of strats coming for this strategic missile defense. Only one survives, but the nuke has been launched, and I'm pretty sure it's targeted here. However, the one strat, it's still somehow alive with 100 hit points, but I don't know if it's actually going to break through this shield in time. We'll have a look over on the other side at the Mega from Wolf in just a moment, but first things first, where's that nuke coming? Because this is loaded, and this strat, with just 100 hit points left, which is somehow still working, does not get through in time, and the nuke is stopped. And the strat is shot down. Let's go back and check on that Mega. Meanwhile, we do actually have this Mega coming in from Wolf. On the one hand, it's alone, there's nothing supporting it, but on the other hand, I do not think that Renoster has anything to stop it, and this Mega could really make a mess of his front line. Playing losing production there, the eco here was already dead, but these ones could be vulnerable, and there is T2 point defense going up, but the Mega just outranges that, so it will easily be able to break its way in. More eco is being lost to playing, and I'm pretty sure that that is going to hurt. Yes, no? Oh, he's going for the production first, but the eco is denied. Rehakles gunships are back in business. This time they're doing their dirty work against the base for Renoster, and T3 mexes are going down. More chances to pick up here. We have a desperate line of T1AA going up, but I don't think it'll be enough. However, we've got a Novax. And Novax is out from playing, and it is having some fun with the base that Wolf inherited from Furior. And that's one T3 mix down, and another one I think very soon to follow. But we might be about to see an awesome fight here. Because look at this, this is a big, big crowd of Percys. But do you know what I see here? I see not one, but two Knabberwasser comms. And this could be a fantastic show. One Mazer comm opens up, it's Freddy. And Freddy actually brings in a huge wave of bricks as well. But who needs the bricks? Because Renoster has joined Freddy and he opens fire. Two Mazer comms taking it out on a line of Percys. The Percys are forced to fall back. Isn't this marvelous? Meanwhile, we've got PB with a GC advancing up the flank here. And it's supported by restorers, but it falls back in the face of these bricks. Playing has amassed quite a big fleet of torp bombers here, but they're wasted because Calamity's left the water. But this is where I want to look now. We've got a megalith shooting at Renoster's base here, but the Nova Seas, two of the next Nova Seas from Playing, have opened fire on it. However, the megalith has a lot of hit points, and I'm not sure the Nova Seas will do the work in time. Meanwhile, where's that nuke going? We can see it on the minimap there. I think it might be planning to hit either here or here. Where's it going? Is it going to go for the double comms? I think that would have been a good pickup, killing two Mazer comms, but this is, I think, the intended target. Boom. So, where once South Team held both these expansions, now they hold neither, but also North Team doesn't hold them, so no man's land there. And a third Novax has joined the crowd shooting on the Mega, but the Mega has crushed this base and is taking out some eco belonging to PB and Renoster over here. Three Novaxes are just... Sure, I think these would be better used against the bases up in the north, like Calamity's or Wolf's inherited base. PB has another large army with a GC, but it's just stomping around. And meanwhile we have a Tsar. Sorry, Playing has that. PB has a Tsar. I keep confusing Playing and PB, and I'm not sure why. Either way, a Tsar from PB is coming in, as is a wave of Strats from Wolf. And if they deny this Mega, which is 85% done, that could be pretty painful. And they're going to look at this. This is a huge loss of investment for Freddy. Well, the Strats, where have they gone? Oh, they're up here. The Strats are having some more fun. The Mega that trashed Renoster's front line is coming along here, but we have a counter to it by the looks of things. Freddy has dropped his Cloak Mazer comm in behind it and is going in straight for it. However, I think he might have dropped a little too far away, as he's going to have a long walk, and commanders are not the fastest of units. Back to North Team's aerial evisceration of Freddy, and these Strats from Wolf are definitely getting work done. Look at the amount of AA they've just taken out there. These power generators would be an amazing target if you can get them. Where are those Strats? I think he is going for the power gens. Ooh, so close. This Strat's gonna do it. Nice. That is a huge chain reaction. There are now 4 Nova Seas from Playing, and they are looking for juicier targets than that Mega. They are coming into Angel's base, where he's starting work on emissary heavy artillery. And I don't know if he's got enough to defend against this attack. We'll have to check on it later. Back to the aerial assault on poor old Freddy, and this Tsar is cleaning up what's left of the Mega Wreck and some army. The Strats have continued their work. I'm not sure this SMD is even worth it, because what is there left to nuke down here? So here's that Mega again, and once again we can see over here that Freddy is trying to get in behind it. Again, he needs to be just a little bit closer. He does get just within monkey laser range, though. He's got to chase it, but we've also got a monkey from Renoster. Now, Monkey Mega beats Monkey, but look at this beautiful micro from Renoster getting right up in that Mega's backside, and it just deals all the damage with Freddy coming in to help out at the end. Down goes the Mega. Great work from Freddy and Renoster, especially Renoster's monkey micro. Meanwhile, though, the horde of Novaseas, now 5 in number, have reached the air grid. 5? 4? 4 or 5? Anyway, they've reached the air grid of PB, and they are going to make a mess of it. Pigeons going down, factories going down. The HQ will be a nice pickup if they can get it, and they very well might. Yes, no? Come on. Either way, PB is losing quite a lot here. Freddy has an army advancing here, but the Tsar from PB is gonna go to work on it, and I think Freddy is gonna be forced to fall back. Indeed he is. He has a couple of ASFs, but nowhere near enough to take down a Tsar. Playing might. Playing is bringing in his ASFs, and as yet we haven't seen an answer from any of the North Team players with an Air Force. The ASFs come in. The Tsar's shield is nearly down to Freddy's anti-air, and it loses most of its hit points in the first pass, and it is down. PB Tsar is down, and Playing is flying out of there, but Rehakles is coming in to take the air fight. And it looks like Rehakles has got a lot more. And Playing isn't even trying to make the turn and get the fight. Stop losing air, screams Freddy, frustrated with Playing's continued inability to keep air control. Would I be as frustrated in his situation? Possibly I would. And more to the point, the restorers from PB can now get to... Did I say PB instead of Playing again just now? Well, PB over here. His restorers, now that there's no air for South Team, can just get free damage against Freddy's army. And Rehakles' broadswords are going to join in. They are going to get massive damage down here. But we've got to look up here, because the Novaseas are now going for Wolf. Wolf is in this space. His T3HQ for land and air are in this space, and the HQ is on shield, and he's building a Scathis of all things. He's going for Teleporter, Scathis. This is big. But the HQ is being targeted. To be fair, he wasn't really using this one. He's got a Serra land HQ up here for his main land contribution, which is on the top flank where he's producing Ophiums. That could be big though. I think that was an SMD going down. He's heavily assisting the Cyber and Shield though, and I don't think that these Novaseas are going to be able to break it. So let's go and see what those broadswords and restorers are up to. Well, look at the amount of damage they're doing to Freddy's production and his army here. And again, we've got Playing coming in with an Air Force, but Playing's Air Force is nowhere near big enough to take this on. And if he tries to take the air fight, he's just going to lose air again. Oh no, here we go once again. Rehakles takes the air fight and just wins the air. And as well as that, Angel is now bringing his Percy's in as a land presence in this area. So this used to be all indisputably Freddy's territory, but now that is very much looking to change. This chicken from Wolf seems to be intent on hiding in the corner for some reason. But the Novaseas are taking out the Scathis. It wasn't very much built, but that's still a lot of eco down the drain. The Scathis from Wolf is dead, but meanwhile, Wolf has another chicken coming in to take out Telemazer's old base. So there's a big army with 2 GCs, which will easily stop the chicken, but how much damage will it do, and how much damage will its Ion Storm do? As it takes fire from this entire army, down it goes, but the Ion Storm will deal a lot of damage to the T3 production and the mexes here. And as if that weren't enough, while that was happening, that might have just been a distraction for this chicken to sneak round the back, but that chicken has been punged. They do know it's here, but what have they got to stop it? Pings are going down like mad on this chicken. But Playing is having nothing to do with it. Playing is sending his entire army with his 2 GCs and his vast horde of Harpies up forward across the top corner of the map. And will he get the work done? There is another chicken being built here, which might be ready in time. There's already another chicken here. And there's a washer going up, so quite a lot of stuff happening up there in the top corner. Anyway, let's have a look at this sneaky other chicken. There is a fatty from Playing, taking it out at range, supported by a monkey from Renoster if the chicken decides to try and close with the fatty. Meanwhile, the Novaseas have come for Rehakles' air grid. And there isn't quite as much assistance here. I think they're going to get through. 1 shield down. This could be a big loss for North team, and okay, that's now 6 Novaseas. The shield's down. And the P-Gens are under attack. Rehakles' air grid looks like it might be toast here. The HQ is right there, and these P-Gen explosions could be going to do the damage. Even if they don't, what air grid does Rehakles have left? Not much. And if that weren't enough, the Novaseas are going to town on his eco. That was a lot of damage that we just saw Rehakles take. And if that weren't enough, we got Freddy. That was about T3 arty from Angel, so he must have finished that arty we saw going up earlier. Freddy is flying in against the chicken to go for it with his laser face. He's always been a little nervous about dropping too close to his target, and you can understand why. It's his combat risk, but it does mean it takes him a little bit of time to engage, but in this case it's enough. He takes out the chicken. And remember how Wolf just lost a partially complete Scathis? You know what Scathis is a lot more complete? Is this one, which is in the green. Nearly done. And not a moment too soon, because Rehakles and PB have almost entirely cleared up this corner. There's a little bit of T1 production all paused here left for Freddy, but other than that, Freddy's been evicted, and Angel has a vast haul of Percys stamping their way across the hills towards the main bases of Freddy and Playing. And there's fully double-capped T3 mexes here, which will just be toast in the face of these Percys unless they find out some way to defend it. And they must know about it, because they've got a bunch of fighters overflying it, but what have they actually got that they can counter it with, I cannot say. Freddy's comm is over here dropping in again to... Again, there's no anti-air here. He could just land right on top of this stack of bricks and pop it. But he's landed back here, which did kill 1 brick, and now he's walking in. Slowly. I'm going to do this cinematically because it's so. Or you could maybe play the Hulk walking away music. I don't know. Your call. I'm not going to try singing it. That would be bad. He carves his way through the bricks. The bricks have no answer to him. Quick check back on Playing's army in the north, but Calamity has an answer to it. He has a washer coming in. And that is going to do some damage before the army is able to connect with Calamity's base. One decent hit there and another coming in. He should really be targeting the Harbies rather than the GCs, I think, because he'd be able to take out a lot of the firepower that way. But the damage is done before the battle here even starts. Back to Freddy finishing off the bricks. But now, we just saw the washer from Calamity hit this army. But it is still going to get into the front of his base. However, that is a lot of point defense. And the washer is coming back in. The bomb lands on a couple of GCs. And the point defense might take the GCs apart, and the GCs, of course, unlike the chicken, don't have an Iron Storm to do the work. And I don't think... Oh, and there's more PDs back here for Calamity. So, with the combination of the point defense, the chicken, and the washer, those two GCs and the entire Harby army have been taken out. That's quite a big loss for Playing. And Renoster's Scathis has just opened fire. But we gotta look at these bricks that are coming in straight into Playing's base. This is going to hurt a great deal, and this, I think, will be a primary target. There's an SMD here and an SMD here for Playing. Freddy's, however, has thrown his comm in once again. His comms has been doing great work, and I appreciate it, but the SMD is indeed being pung, and I think the Percys are going to focus it. And this could be a bit of a problem for Freddy and for Playing if they're able to take it out. A nuke goes off. Where is it? Oh, but that's a nuke out from this launcher, which I hadn't even seen. Freddy is shooting up these Percys, but they've taken out Playing's SMD here. And that could be a big problem for the South team. And we also have the GC that's come all the way around from PB, but with this monkey is going to finish for Freddy. And there's the nuke from Wolf taking advantage of this being taken out. Will it be in range of this SMD though? An arrow was drawn by Wolf telling Angel to try and take it out, but I don't think he's got enough. No, he hasn't, and Freddy's comm will do the rest of the damage, as will these SCUs from Playing. However, now we've got to look at Hold, says Wolf to PB, knowing that the nuke's coming in and hoping it's going to land. The monkey finishes. And now it is engaged, but the monkey is able to focus on the GC. Well, the GC is definitely not focusing the monkey. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that we have 7 novices here now. We did have 8.
Strategic launch detected.
But the monkey is going in, and boom, the nuke hits. Sure, PB's GC is going to die, but Freddy is dead. Freddy's monkey is dead. Half the novices are dead. What a beautiful nuke for North team, and we'd better have a quick look at the nuke from Playing just now. And we have Playing's nuke coming in for Calamity's base. We might be about to lose a lot here. Blam. That's gotta hurt. But we've also got to look at Angel's base, where those 6 novices backed up by the Scathis are making a mess, and this, I think, is the crucial target, the SMD. The Scathis rains down, the shields drop, and the SMD is down. And that is massively important because I think that we're about to see another nuke from playing on the way, and we are. Oof, 3 of the Nova Seas drop out of the sky as Wolf's nuke hits and kills Freddy, which we just saw, but the damage has been done to Angel. Meanwhile, Playing has launched yet another nuke. Where's that going? Where it's going up here. Angel has lost his arty, but has built another one over here. Is Angel about to lose his base? I think he actually might. Angel himself is on the run, but Angel is going to take the hit. Blam! That's got to hurt. He's lost his HQ, he's lost a lot of his arty, and as if that's not enough, the Nova Seas are still getting work done. But this is so much damage inflicted to South Team, and with Freddy's death, things are looking a lot less safe. Meanwhile, where are all the remaining Nova Seas? There are 3 of them, and they are shooting at Wolf, but they're not getting through this very heavily assisted shield. And meanwhile, PB is working on a Paragon. Look at the equal difference. Now though, North Team have not only taken the lead, they have taken the lead and are producing more than twice as much as South Team. Meanwhile though, Calamity's base is being shredded by the Scathis. Calamity and Wolf, they are taking damage up here. Look at that. Huge amounts of eco going down for both players. Calamity fleeing, and the Scathis is absolutely paying for itself. This is also well worth noting though, 5 chickens coming from Calamity and Wolf across the map, and after this nuke hit here, what has Playing got with which to defend? I'm going to say not much.
Strategic launch detected.
Wolf nuking again. Where's he targeting? Well, he's targeting... Oh, he's got a stream of scouts coming over, and he's seen Renoster's SupCom because these T3 scouts have Omni, but Renoster suspects it's coming for him, and he's going to move just a little bit in case the nuke was aimed for him, which it was. So that nuke is going to be mainly wasted. That could be a good move for South Team. The Scath is still firing up here, but where's that nuke? It is going to kill a lot of T1 bombers, but those are only T1 bombers. And Renoster, well, he's stunned by the way from the nuke, but he doesn't actually take that much damage, so Renoster survives that nuke. The Scathis is now cracking Rehakles' main base. Look at this. Sure, we took some damage from the nuke earlier, but the Scathis is doing still more. Taking out shields, taking out production, taking out eco, it might take out the quantum gateway if we see another hit like that. While the Nova Seas are getting good work done against Wolf's top base up here, taking out the... Ooh, look at that ion plant, or whatever the server one is called. Look at that T3P gen explode, doing a lot of damage. Wolf is losing a lot here, as the Scathis keeps on raining down on Rehakles. But those 5 chickens are now coming into Playing's base. Playing tries to hit them with strats, but Rehakles' air takes out the strats. The strats do kill 1 chicken. There is just one fatty here from Playing, trying to defend, but there are still 4 chickens from the North Team. The fatty is kiting away like it should, though it might be kiting away a little too early, as it's not within range of these chickens right now. And that Scathis is absolutely getting through Rehakles' shenanigans here. Will that give Playing the chance to win air? And as if that weren't enough, we have a fatty from Rehakles coming straight through mid, which I don't know if they have a defense for. However, this fatty is now opening up on the chickens, but the chickens are getting close to it, and I think they're going to be able to run it down. Two monkeys from Renoster. Will the fatty be able to fall back in time for these monkeys to help out against the two chickens? They're getting ready to defend, and you'll notice they're using the terrain to their advantage here, so the chickens will have more difficulty firing on them until they get close. On this side, we've got the fatty shooting at the two chickens from Wolf. And on this side, the two monkeys from Rehakles, from Renoster, sorry about that, are going to engage the chickens from Calamity. And Playing brings in another wave of strats to help out. One of the monkeys goes down, but one of the chickens goes down, and this chicken isn't properly engaging this monkey. Meanwhile, the bombs from the strats severely damage this chicken. The other chicken is going down to the monkey, but its Iron Storm, I think, will take it out. The strats come back and one of the chickens goes down. The fatty has lost its shield and the fatty dies. There's still one chicken alive. Renoster did bring its comment in case it was needed, but it isn't. And okay, I lied. This monkey is actually still alive, and this one, in combination with the strats, I think will be able to defend against this chicken. And here's the air engagement. The strats, I think, are going to go down as they kill the second chicken, but it is now Rehakles who loses the air because it's in the wrong position. Rehakles' main air is over here and not engaging. However, this could go a different way. Meanwhile, Rehakles actually brings in his fatty, which is now bombarding Renoster's front line, and there's only this monkey really left to defend. And the air engagement goes down over Rehakles' fatty. Doesn't look like either of them are microing too hard. But Rehakles is going to win it yet again, leaving this fatty able to wreak havoc on the base of Renoster. Playing's coming in for a strat snipe on the fatty, but he's got no ASF to cover, and these ASFs are literally guarding it. They're certainly, so these strats are certainly not getting two passes. Will one be enough?
Strategic launch detected.
No, it's not. The fatty's into the yellow, but the strats are all down. Meanwhile, whose nuke was that? It was Playing's. Where's it going? Well, it's going up here as the Scathis is raining down on the Paragon, and there's a nuke defense here. Okay, that nuke defense only just loaded. That was clutch. That loaded while the nuke was literally in flight towards it, but it's going to save PB's base. It's going to save the Paragon from Playing's nuke. That is absolutely clutch. The first of Rehakles' stream of fatties is getting forward, and once again it is opening fire on the base for Renoster. Renoster does have a mega coming in, which might be able to engage the fatty if it's able to get help from the shields. This monkey is advancing, but this is an advance of desperation. The fatty will just be able to kite back, and even if it weren't, there's another fatty right here which can support it. And the fatties are just kiting it away, and that monkey is going to get torn apart before I think it can even open fire on either of the fatties. And there's a third fatty coming in from Renoster, so that monkey is going to die for free, and there are now 3 fatties that South Team have to worry about. However, the mega might work if it's micro. The fatty outranges the mega, but the mega's a little bit faster, and the mega will be able to provide cover for this chicken coming in from Playing. But the fatties are opening fire, and look how much they outrange the Mega. They must surely see the chicken. Why are they not targeting it? These guys need to start kiting away to avoid both the Mega and the chicken. But the chicken is going to come in, and I think it's just going to be able to open fire. I think it just kills this fatty for free. Nice work from Playing. One fatty going to go down, and the Mega's now in range. Is the second fatty going to go down? Since the chicken's still in the green, I am pretty sure this fatty is going out. And why is this fatty not just running away like a cowardly custard as fast as it possibly can? Two fatties down, and the third fatty is taking fire from the chicken, although the Mega is slightly out of range and will stay. It might catch up, actually. Either way, though, in comes the fire from the chicken, taking it out. That's 3 fatties down for Rehakles, and the 2 XPs from South Team still survive. How are the Novices doing, as they and the Scathis are still trying to stop this Paragon going up? And they break through the shields. They break through the shields. Several of them die. Focus the Paragon, please. Take out the Paragon. No, but the shields are back up, and this shield is being wildly assisted. I think they had a chance there, and I think they lost it. And meanwhile, look here. Angel's Arty took out the fully loaded SMD there. That's going to be huge, because now there's no SMD at all here, and don't forget that this nuke has been doing insane work. Look at it, it's got 366,000 mass killed, and now it can just go to town on this entire base. There's still 3 Novices left and a 4th nearly built, but a big wave of Perseus is coming in from Angel. And does South Team have anything to stop this? Playing's chicken did take out yet another fatty here by the looks of things, but it's been taken out by the next fatty, and there's the nuke from Wolf. And it's going right here. There's nothing to stop this. This is going to be devastating. It's going to kill the Novices. It's going to kill the air grid. It's going to kill a lot of Playing's eco. And as if that weren't enough, we've had a monkey creeping all this time around the bottom from Wolf, which has only just now got in, and Wolf is going to be able to make sure that it doesn't actually push until the nuke has landed. Where's the nuke? Where's the nuke? Where's the nuke? Right there. And I missed it, sort of, for a guile moment there, but what a nuke that was for the North Team. And meanwhile, we better have a look at this cheeky chicken from Playing. It's deep into the red after fire from gunshots, but it might still actually take out this expansion right here. Lots of good work from this chicken, because there's actually just nothing to stop it. And it might actually vet up, which would take it out of the red, which would be very nice. This is Angel's current HQ, which is going to be destroyed again. So this is amazing work from this chicken. Is this chicken the MVP?
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, I don't think he's actually going to take out the HQ. I think he's just walking on through, trying to see if he can get damage done in the back lines and get as far as he possibly can. Meanwhile, we have another nuke out from Desert Wolf. And we have a massive TML bank here from PB. What's it firing at? I'm not sure. Looks like it's just taking out mixes by the looks of things, but is there actually... There is an SMD here, but it's not loaded. Is the nuke actually going to finally cure the Scathis? Is the nuke going to take out this Scathis that's been the thorn in the side of North Team for so long? Down comes the nuke, and the Scathis is out. That's got to be the final nail in the coffin for South Team. Well, I say that, but there's one chicken which did vet up twice, is back down into the red. We have Corsairs from Wolf going forward. It's coming in, and Angel's standing right here. Angel's remaining arty, because the other one over here got destroyed, is also right here. Angel's running. What's the chicken gonna do? It is, I think, its best choice now, because I don't know if it'll catch Angel before it dies. It's just to take out the arty. But he's still ordering it in after Angel. No, he takes the turn. He's going to take out the arty. And even if the chicken doesn't survive to do it, the Ion Storm most certainly will. And down it goes. But where's the Ion Storm? Is it going to do the damage? Absolutely it is. Boom. And Renoster does actually have T3RT up again, and he's about to have a second up, but you know, it's no Scathis. Two T3RTs does not have the firepower of a Scathis that he needs. Well, this is going on. Now there's two tactical missile banks are really raining down the fire on the eco. I mean, this feels like a bit of an over-investment from PB. You could probably actually built just an experimental and walked it in for that amount, but you know, it's getting the work done. And the next fatty from Rehakles is once again threatening Renoster's front line. But there's just nothing to defend anymore. We have a big bunch of Raz SCUs coming forward. Is Renoster's arty targeting these Raz SCUs to try and hurt Rehakles eco that way? I think it might be, you know. Is he going to get any actual damage done? I'm really not sure. I mean, maybe. But these two are about to pop if the next arty shell comes somewhere near them. Which it doesn't, it goes over there. Okay, there's some popping. Maybe that will keep doing damage. Chicken nearly finished for PB over here, and he has started work on a YOLO. But this is not a YOLO of strength, my loyal viewers. This is a YOLO of desperation. He's put up a few tactical missile defenses here, but not enough to stop this ridiculously vast missile bag, which is actually firing on his comm right now. His comm has Nano and T3, which gives him 22,000 hit points, but this is a lot of tactical missiles coming in. Nonetheless, the shields are in. Oh, but here's the next wave coming in. Boom! Down into the... Oh, not quite boom. Down into the red, and playing starts moving over. This washer might finish the job. Wolf has sent a washer, and all it needs to do is loop back round, and it would kill playing in one hit if it was able to do the damage. It drops the bomb, but the shield comes up just in time. However, the shield is not in time to save playing's air grid, which is down and out, and suddenly... What? And so is the YOLO. Oh, okay, the YOLO isn't actually down and out, but it might be on the next pass. And there it goes. That's got to be the YOLO out. And what has South Team got left? Their air grid is dead. Their scat is dead. Their attempted YOLO is dead. Their eco is dead there because the North Team now have 10 times the eco, and South Team resigns. Fantastic. What a fantastic game. MVP, I think it has to be Desert Wolf with his nuke. Best play of game? Well, from a cool perspective, it's got to be that double Mazer comm from Freddy and Renoster going in against the Bricks of Angel. But from a tactical perspective, well, I'm torn. Is it where South Team got their early drops off, which gave them such amazing map control during the early stages of the game? Or is it where Angel's Bricks and the careful air snipes from Wolf took out all the SMDs so that Wolf could get so much work done with his nuke? Tell me what you think in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey. I'm the Commissar. I will see you next time.